Peace and love to the gods and goddess. We're going to share this knowledge about First Father. Yeah, we got from part 1 to 9, I think. One video, but it's cut up. So I'm going to share it. Peace.
Reveal something startling, something that should give us pause. And what is startling about every pyramid on this earth that is created is the fact that the stonework is identical. The stonework of the pyramids are identical because one group of aliens created all of them. One alien rule, one alien law. Nonetheless, to understand these aliens is not enough, because to know them is truly worth more. Alien fingerprints are found upon every continent and on every ancient pyramid. Technological knowledge of the sun and the Stargate is everywhere, and in a time when man could barely write. There is one question that has plagued mankind more than any other, and it is universal. And the question is, who built the pyramids? Where do they come from? Who are they? And what do they look like? It has been a mystery for more than 15,000 years. And uncovering this mystery will be very, very uncomfortable for all of us. The unveiling of this mystery begins here, Africa, and here, the Americas, and all over the entire world. And yet, its end is here, the house of the Mayans. Each represents a beginning and an end of alien rule on Earth. Egypt, the beginning of our civilization, and the Mayans represents the ending of the last great civilization. This Mayan codex tells us who these aliens were. Notice his face, his eyes, and to all of us, he looks alien. As we have seen these images of our alien visitors, we have seen these large alien eyes. Nevertheless, to understand alien communication is to understand that everything they do in the presence of human eyes is for our learning and our intellectual growth. The ancient description of these aliens are much like they are today, with one exception. They didn't call them the Greys. They called them the Ant People. They had large bulb heads with alien eyes that look exactly like an ant. And like an ant, these stone workers created a civilization underground, much like an ant colony. The world has seen pictures of these aliens all over our world, and what always gives them away are their insect-like antennae. In every part of our world, we find them, and in every part of our world, they are called aliens. Their insect-like images are painted everywhere, and with a higher frequency in North and South America. The Hopi Indians tell never-ending tales of these visitors to our earth. But to truly understand them, one must leave North America and return to the other kingdom of their rule, Egypt. In this kingdom, one will find that these beings ruled as kings, and they also sat upon a throne. Their names and their insect appearance are found in the registry of kings. The Egyptians called them the Scarab, and they were the master builders of the nations. Egypt lifted them up and glorified them as gods, and also the sons of God. They placed them above even their highest gods, and they worshipped them even long after their departure. However, in the Americas, these Scarab kings were not as beloved, for in the land of the Maya, their descendants called these alien kings Mayate. The root word of Mayate is Maya, and Mayate is a derogatory racial slur, and it means the root word of Mayate is Maya, and Mayate is a derogatory racial slur, and it means an insect of excrement, a dung bug or dung beetle. Sadly, these terms have truth in them, for the Egyptian scarab is in fact a dung beetle, and it does roll dung into a large ball 3 to 4 times its own size. Nevertheless, these alien teachers taught the Mayans the symbolism of the dung beetle, a cosmological understanding of moving worlds and planets to align with the Milky Way. These Mayate, when they left our world, they left us finally understanding what their words truly meant. An insect is not a thing of worship. It has the characteristics of things of worship, and that is what is worshipped. These are scarabs, and this is what they create: a huge spherical ball of dung. And now the creation of our alien kings. And unlike the dung beetle, they do not create a sphere of dung. They create a perfect sphere of solid granite. They are the masters of building, the masters of rock. And like a dung beetle, they leave these spheres all over the world. And you will find that they are spheres of varying types of rock. They also create spheres of metal. In the ancient past, it is why they were called kings and why they were called gods. They were created with superior technology and superior workmanship. And all of this tells us how they created the pyramids. We have been taught that they used large blocks, ropes, and sleds, and none of this is true. They created our massive pyramids of stone not by lifting the rock, but instead rolling the stone and cutting them in place. They never needed ropes or sleds. The stones literally rolled themselves into place. These insect kings also left another clue of their superiority over ancient man. They told the Mayans they moved worlds and planets. And if one looks past our own solar system, you will find their pyramids on the moon, on Mars, on Pluto, and even Ceres. As bombastic as this may sound, look closely at these spheres. Look. This is Pluto. These pyramid builders stand within a knowledge and a glory that cannot be denied. Although Mayan descendants called them Mayate, the Maya called them by a very different name. They called them Han Hunapu. And this Mayan name actually means First Father. First Father created all civilizations on the earth. First Father created all nations bearing pyramids. The Mayans called them First Father because they were taught that no matter what race or color a person was born, and no matter what name he calls his father, to all of mankind, they are your first father. According
hear that? You listen that?
to the Maya, First Father ruled the world from the beginning of time, until one day the devious lords came to the earth, and they were friendly with First Father, and then challenged him to a ball game. First Father accepted the challenge, but when First Father came to play the game, the devious lords captured him and beheaded First Father. The bodies are buried.
So this is First Father of all civilization on earth. You feel me? So knowledge continue again. Part 3. Tune in.
The burial of First Father has never been found, and this Mayan tale would only be a tale. That is, until the mid-1900s, when the Mayan soil gave up the decapitated heads of First Father. This is First Father. These are the faces of our pyramid builders. These are the creators of our ancient text. And these are they who taught us everything about the stars, the cosmos, the planets, and calculation. And yes, these are aliens. They are clearly of African descent, and like all human beings that walk this earth, no matter our race, our color, or ethnic traditions, we can all trace our DNA, our beginnings, to a common ancestor, a father. For no matter what we call our father on this earth, our DNA tells us who our first father is. And he is African. The stonework and its megalithic construction clearly indicates a technical expertise that we do not possess today. The identity of the pyramid builders is the greatest secret of the ancient world. And yet, as unbelievable as this may be, its confirmation is found throughout all of Latin America, even to this day. Because the term Mayate, as derogatory as it may be, is only assigned to black men. These alien men purposely hid their race and their identity from mankind. They went to great lengths to cover their hair and their faces. And in every ancient writing, carving, and in every hieroglyphic, these men were always depicted with a face other than their own. A bird, a dog, a lion, a monkey, or an insect. Nevertheless, they would always leave us clues that only the wise can see. These alien kings were looked down upon because of their appearance, because of their large noses, naughty hair, and big lips. Humans had a hard time accepting them as ruler. And yet in everything they built, they left an identifying marker that would indicate their race. This is Tiahuanaco, and this is one of the most photographed and misunderstood creations on the plateau. In this creation, one can see all the heads and carvings of various races of mankind. Every people is represented, and yet there is one among them that does not look human at all. It is clearly alien. Much like we see today, we call these aliens the Greys. Only there is something different about the ancient alien that separates it from ours. Look closely. What is different? What is different is the fact that this alien has very big lips. This is First Father, his other identity. The identifying markers of all of these men are found in their naughty hair, their big lips, and their large noses. Although they were called aliens, they were also called the sons of God. Yet and still, many nations called them the great deceivers, and they secretly whispered against them because of their ways. They called them the great deceivers because when the native people saw them build, they saw a technology that they had never seen before. They saw what slices granite rock like butter and lifts hundreds of tons like a feather.